Hi guys, it's Craig Coffey. Don't give your real name when it doesn't really matter. What I'm talking about is if you're going to Starbucks or if you're going to the restaurant of your choice and they ask for a name, like they say, can I have a name for this order? Or what's your name, right? When we're working on our speech, this is going to be very controversial. It's important, in my opinion, to be as fluent as we can. But when you're working on your speech, how do you achieve that? The first thing I did was I removed the stuttering that I did not have to do. Sounds crazy, but it worked. What that means is whenever we stutter on our own name, right? That's the hardest thing for us to say. It is. And for me, that was the last piece to become fluent, right? I was fluent, and then the last thing for me to get fluent was for me to be able to say my name with confidence 24 hours a day. And what I'm telling you is that say your real name when you have to, right? When you're talking to a person who has authority or a doctor's office or something, or school or a job. But whenever it doesn't really matter, don't do it. Not if you're intentionally working to improve your speech. Because what helped me and what really worked was filling my head with the sound of my own fluent speaking. Sounds crazy when we stutter, right? But follow my thinking. Okay, so instead of saying Craig when I was at a Starbucks, I would just give a name that I could say, like Frank or John, right? And the thought process was, well, it doesn't matter what name I give to the barista at the Starbucks because they're not gonna, it doesn't have any it does not have a long-lasting impact at all, right? So there's nothing. And so for me, that was so important to kind of put that together in my own head that, hey, don't do it. And see, as part of being as fluent as we can, we want to avoid those stuttering circumstances that we don't have to. And what do we do instead? Here's a 5-star tip. And it's not a secret, but it's definitely what helped me a lot. It's reading out loud by myself. Reading out loud so I could not just hear myself be fluent or more fluent than when I talked in front of strangers or my family, but it does something else more importantly in my mind that I haven't heard people discuss this, but it gets you feeling like you can speak with confidence. I want to say that again. It gets you feeling like you can speak with confidence. See, beating your stutter or reducing it as much as I currently have, and you need to feel confident. And when you speak with a stutter, and when your whole existence for 10 years or 20 years has been filled with a lot of stuttering and a lot of pain and pushing out words and forcing them through, you're not speaking in flow and you're not speaking with confidence. And I know this is blunt. I'm going to deliver it as respectfully as I can. But when you force out a word, that's the polar opposite of how you want to be when you're fluent, of course. And so one of the things you need to do is stop doing that. Don't force out the words. Don't force out your name when you don't have to. Reduce that. Sure, I know some people want to show that stuttering won't stop them. Yeah, but if you stutter badly when you say your name, stuttering is already impacting your speech a lot. And look, there are some people who don't want to really beat their stutter, and I respect that. But for me, it was too painful to constantly be thinking about a stutter, to not work on my own speech. So I do see a lot of excuses out there. And again, I want to be respectful, but I think it's all BS, right? You either improve your speech or you don't. And you either become a confident speaker or you're not. It's black and white. And for more than half of my life, I was not. And now that I am, I want to share it and scream it from the mountaintops. You can be fluent too. You can. You can reduce your stutter by 25%, by 50%, or maybe one day achieve the same kind of fluency that I achieved. It's not a quick fix. I'm not here saying you can do it quickly, but I am saying there's a path. And yes, I definitely don't know if what works for me will work for you. But think about it. If we both stuttered and I had things that are very unconventional that help me make big gains in my fluency, why wouldn't they work for you? Here's what I am thinking at this point, is that a lot of people's stutter is tied to their self-identity. And they view themselves as a stutterer, as someone who stutters. And in my opinion, they will never gain fluency like I've gained it with that identity that they keep. And so people might say, oh, I don't identify as a stutterer. But when you talk to them, you clearly see that they do, because stuttering has gripped them and they can't shake it. And I took stuttering by the hand and I threw it away. And I said, get out of here, stuttering. Yeah, it took me 10 years. Why? Because I zigged and zagged and no one laid out a path and I had to work for it and find out what works and what did not work. But you can achieve this. It's unconventional, I understand, but it is possible. And I'm here to share and hopefully to inspire you that you can do it as well. So I've given you a few tips, including don't say your real name when you don't have to while you're working on your speech. And the second is read by yourself for 30 minutes, read out loud for 30 minutes a day, and you should do it. Because what you'll find is you'll start to hear and feel yourself speak fluidly and with confidence, and you might start to have fun. And that's such a big part of it. It's a mindset shift. And this is why I think a lot of people will remain skeptical, because in their minds, they just believe they will stutter for the rest of their lives. And guess what? I can't help them and no one can, because your beliefs will really drive whatever future you have. If you believe stuttering is something you can reduce significantly or reduce some, then you will, and that will be possible. But if you believe stuttering can never be beat, then you will never beat stuttering. Hi, I'm Craig Coffey. I know what I'm saying is very unconventional, but I've promised myself one thing, to not hold back and share what helped me beat my stutter. Because when I was a teenager and I was struggling really, really badly, I promised myself that if I could find a way to beat my stuttering, I would help people do the same. So this is what this is. And if you follow and think this is cool, that's fantastic. If this does not resonate with you, I respect that. But I'm still gonna be on here producing content, sharing what worked for me, because it's in my heart. And I always promised myself that I would speak from my heart and I would share what really helped me. And I would hold no punches. I would do it respectfully, but why should I be afraid to share what helped me? I know there's a lot of people out there who are scared and say, Craig, is this really possible? Yes, it is. It takes time, but you can do it. And maybe I'm the one person who you're hearing encouraging you that you can do it, but you can do it. I was in your shoes and I'm here now, and you can do it too. It'll take hard work, it'll take time, but there's a path. And I'm gonna start to share a specific path that I have actually followed and created for my fluency. I'm gonna share it. I'll share it in steps so you can kind of see what the big picture is, and then I'll start to break down these steps in hopes that I can make it as clear as possible that you too can beat your stutter. It takes time, it takes you to believe that you can, and a lot of things, but what I'm basically sharing is how I did it, and I'm trying to deliver a shortcut to you, because essentially I couldn't help my past self, but the next best thing is I can help people who are currently going through their stuttering struggles right now. So hey, hope does exist. Please check out craigcoffey.com and check out my new Instagram handle at @realcraigcoffey. And I look forward to continuing our conversation, recording more fresh content tomorrow, and have a great day. Bye.